Andrew Lloyd Webber is back, live, and this time it's personal. Last year, it was problem solved. Connie! And now, he's taking a risk of biblical proportions. He's asking you to cast a complete unknown in the lead role of the musical closest to his heart, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. Thousands auditioned. One by one, they fell. Now, only 12 remain.
I'm really going to prove that I could be the winner.
I don't want to let go of this. I'm just scared, I feel.
Being friends isn't as important as getting this part.
I can beat these guys at the game.
And live tonight, the first of them must go. Only one can be Joseph. Ultimately, that decision is down to you.
I close my eyes.
Next.
You solved the problem that was Maria, now we're counting on you to find Joseph. The fans are in the house! The band is ready! The panel is set! And the Lord is back! Any dream will do, but any old Joseph most definitely won't. Out to win that prize of a lifetime. Please welcome our final 12!
I close my eyes, drew back the curtain to see for certain what I thought I knew. Not far away, someone was leaving, but the world was sleeping, and we were blue. I hold my core, and lightning
boys will be Joseph. Welcome to our first live show of Any Dream Will Do. Last year, we made TV history when you crowned Connie Fisher as Maria. It was the first time a major West End role was cast by the public. Now, we need you to find a Joseph to star in Andrew Lloyd Webber's revival of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. Andrew knows that if you choose the wrong leading man, his glorious dream could turn into a horrendous nightmare. And not just for Andrew. Pick the wrong boy, and it could be a nightmare for him too. So vote wisely. Once again, we've recruited a panel of experts to help guide you along the way. Please welcome back star of Torchwood and West End leading man, John Barrowman. Razor Tongue vocal coach, Zoe Tyler. New to the panel, theatre producer and chairman of Everton Football Club, Bill Kenwright is here. West End and Broadway theatre star, Denise Van Houten. And, of course, the Phantom Force himself. It's Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Hey, Graham.
Graham, can I have a word with you?
Yes?
These chandeliers, don't like them. They light up my bald patch.
Oh, well, it's all right. Apparently, week by week, one's going to drop, like in Phantom. Yes.
When we push the button.
Now, Andrew, and last year, it was a great success. The public chose Connie. You were delighted. This year, what are you looking for?
Well, we've got to find a great Joseph who's a bit of a Justin Timberlake, a tiny touch of the Michael Jacksons, and a bit of the Jude Laws. It's going to be quite a contest, I think.
All right, and are you confident that the public will choose the right Joseph out of those 12
Well,
boys?
they chose the right Maria. They really chose the right Maria. I think it's going to be a closer run race this year, though, somehow. I don't know.
It's going to be interesting. Well, each week, Andrew will only be able to save one Joseph. Then, in our grand final, it's exclusively down to you and your votes to decide who wins. Now, Joseph was the favourite of Jacob's 12 sons. His father gave him a Technicolor Dreamcoat. It was nice. And in a fit of jealous rage, his brothers turned against him and threw him into a pit to perish, die. Now, our final 12 are just as ruthless. Each week, they'll be fighting it out to convince you they've got what it takes to be the ultimate leading man. So, let's see if they have, as we meet our first two Josephs, Rob McVeigh and Lee Mead.
As much as being understudy has been great in so many ways, I want my own part.
I really don't want to go back building if I can help it. I do love being a builder.
I specialise in what is called dry lining.
I'd give anything to actually put my tools down finally and just step out on a stage, and that's my career.
He's just a down-to-earth kind of lad. Rob's worked at it and worked hard to get where he is.
Can he fix it?
I never ever dreamed that I could be here. Never.
You could be Joseph.
I don't even think it's sunk in now. It feels like tomorrow I'm going to wake up and I'm going to get up and go back to work.
Rob, to me, is probably the most raw out of the bunch.
I just don't know what to expect. So every day is just a new experience for me, and it's just brilliant.
As amazing as being an understudy is, you can't ever beat having your own lead. Always being the guy that's waiting for somebody to go sick and waiting to go on. It's not a great feeling.
Lee was the understudy for Raoul in Phantom of the Opera in the West End, so Lee is a professional.
It has been a risk me being here because I have had to give up my job at Phantom, so if I'm kicked off, there's no job waiting for me.
It's so hard to get lead roles in the West End. If this is the only way that he can do it, then good luck to him.
I 100% believe that I could be Joseph, and what I'm hoping is that people aren't going to judge me just because I'm a professional. I've worked hard to get to where I am, and I just want to be given the same opportunity as anybody else because I want this as much as anybody else, if not more, and that's why I'm here.
The raw versus experience. It should be interesting. Now, this evening, our final 12 will all perform songs that they think best show why they should be Joseph. Oh, and if you are a digital viewer and fancy singing along with them tonight, you know what to do. Press your red button now for all the lyrics. It's technology and Technicolor. It's pure joy.
It's joy. It's extraordinary that you alone have made that moment into a national television absolute must-see.
It is. It is.
Extraordinary.
It's
About
fun.
a red button.
Yeah, it's good.
It's wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah. Listen, let's bring on the Josephs. First up, it is Rob the Builder McVeigh. Born and raised in Rotherham, Rob will be taking us back to the summer of '69. Waiting in the wings is professional singer and actor Lee Mead. He's 25 and from Essex. He's performing Match the Knife. Could Rob or Lee be your Joseph? I haven't a clue. It's up to you. Here is Rob.
I got my first real 16, born at the farm and down. I played it till my fingers bled. It was the summer of '69. Me and some guys going to school, had a band and we tried real hard. Till it quit, they told me right there. I should have known we never get far. I'm a very bad now. That's all I seem to last forever. And if I had a choice, yeah, I would want to be there. Those were the best days of my life. Whoa, yeah. Ain't no use in complaining when you got a job to do. I spent my days down at the drawing, and that's when I met you, yeah. Standing on your mother's porch, you told me that you'd wait forever. Oh, there's only one choice. I can't lose now or never. Those were the best days of my life. Oh, yeah. Back in the summer of '69. Oh, yeah. Back in the summer of '69. The sharp face has such teeth, dear, and it shows them pearly white. just a jackknife has old Mackie, and he keeps it out of sight. When that shark bites, his teeth bleed, scarlet billows start to spread. Fancy gloves though have old Mackie, so there's never a trace of red on the sidewalk. Oh, Sunday morning, you know, like the body just oozing life. There's someone sneaking around the corner. Could it be our boy, Mac the Knife? Jenny Diver, Suki Tortree. Look out, Miss Slutty Lillian, and old Lucy Brown. When the light falls on the right face, now that Mackie's back in town. Look out, old Mackie is back.
Lee and Rob! Great job, guys. Brilliant start. Oh, fantastic. There you are. Rob the Builder. I have a vision of someone watching television thinking, that's why the drywalling hasn't been finished. You are the least experienced, and yet you were out there first. Did you enjoy it?
Oh, it was amazing, Graham. Absolutely amazing. I mean, this is phenomenal.
They're loving you. They're loving you. And now, Lee, you're interesting because you have been in the West End as an understudy.
Yeah.
Is it a very good high-risk strategy for you to enter a competition like this?
Well, Graham, opportunities like this don't come along very often, and that's why I'm here, and that's why I want the part of Joseph, and it's my dream, you know, so...
OK. Well, although it's you that ultimately decides who becomes Joseph, the panel will still have plenty to say. I'll start with you, John. Leading man potential, is it in front of us tonight?
It is in front of us, Graham. And Rob, wow, 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 what a way to start a show! Well, unrefined, a bit of a rough diamond. The leading man performance might be there, but can we polish that rough diamond? But spectacular job. Lee, that was not an understudy performance. That was a leading man performance. You took the stage, you controlled it, you made it your own, and you worked the audience. Well done.
All right, Denise. Now, you starred on the West End, you starred on Broadway. Is there star quality here?
Absolutely. First of all, Rob, I don't think people can appreciate how hard it is to be the first to come out and sing. You did a fantastic job. You rocked the house. Absolutely. And the thing is, you really looked like you were having fun, and as a result of that, we were having fun. The audience absolutely loved you. Lee, I think you're an absolute star. Fantastic. Great light and shade in your performance from the beginning right through to the end. And let me tell you something. I watched Robbie Williams sing that song at the Albert Hall, and you gave Mr. Williams a run for his money today.
Bill, this is interesting for you because you have actually employed Lee in the past, but never as a leading man. You obviously didn't see it then. Do you see it now?
Well, yeah, and when I first saw Lee audition, I didn't know he was going to be there, and he walked on, I thought, that's Lee. And I have to say, I've employed him twice, and I've never seen that extra something that makes a star until now. Lee, you're a star.
Thank you.
You deserve to come way out from the understudy roles to the star
And what about
role.
our builder?
Bob the Builder. He is... Rob the Builder is the total epitome of what this show is all about. He is the show to me, this boy. He comes up... Listen, Rotherham should be so proud of you tonight. You came from Rotherham the Builder, you're going back to a star.
All right, Zoe, you work with the boys all week on their vocal training.
Oh, yes.
Did they deliver tonight?
Let me start with Rob. Rob, you've made probably the most amazing vocal journey for me. And you know what? Tonight, you took your hard hat off and you put your West End hat on. It was fantastic. Lee, you know, sometimes I've been in classes with these guys 24/7 just about, and sometimes just because you're the most experienced vocalist doesn't necessarily mean you're the best, which I've seen a few times in our classes this week. But you know what? That was a very, very sophisticated performance. Both of you excellent. Thank
Okay, raves from the panel. But what about Andrew? Now, Andrew, you've talked about this modern Joseph for the next generation. Are either of these guys that Joseph?
Well, I kind of echo what Bill said, that this is what the programme's all about, because you couldn't have chalk and cheese more redefined, because you've got somebody who literally came off the street, if you would agree. And we've got somebody who has been in one of my shows, although I never ever saw Lee. So you've got professionalism versus somebody who is going to hopefully learn a great deal in the programme, because I passionately hope you're going to stay in the programme for a long, long time. Now, I think this is what the programme's about, as Bill said, because I think we're going to see you guys grow. I think it's going to be different what happens, but I think both of you could be Josephs.
Excellent. Well, great start. However, the two Josephs who received the least number of votes tonight will face the dreaded sing-off later in our results show. So you must vote to keep your favourite out of danger. To vote for your favourite Joseph, call 09011 2120, then add 01 for Rob, or add 02 if Lee gets your vote. Please don't vote yet. Lines won't open until the end of the show. Now, Andrew, you're not just looking for a Joseph, are you?
Well, no, we're looking for a children's choir as well, who's going to sing on the final. And hopefully we'll join one of our Josephs on the Diana concert, which I'm going to do a song with. You know, so hopefully we're going to do Any Dream Will Do there. And so, great excitement, because Joseph's all about kids and schools. That's where it really started.
Yeah. All right, well, if you've got a school choir and you want to get involved, you can log on to our website, bbc.co.uk/Joseph, and that will find out how you can enter the competition. OK, our next two Josephs have been schoolmates for years, but will they still be friends after tonight? Meet Lewis Bradley and Ben Ellis.
I said to Bill Kenwright, I said, I cut my right leg off for this part. And I'm the outsider, but tonight I'm really going to prove that I could be the winner.
Ben was very, very close to going home. It was a no from all of us apart from John, so he's very lucky to be here.
I think I've got to prove everything now. I'm coming into the final 12 at the bottom, but I mean, it's just giving me the drive and the passion to say, you know, I'm just as good as you. If Zoe doesn't like me, or if whoever doesn't like me, I'm going to show them why I'm here. I kind of met Lewis when I first went to drama school, and we've had the same training. I think we're kind of two very different guys. Although me and Ben are really close, there is only going to be one winner, and obviously I want it to be me.
Lewis Bradley is David Beckham with a voice.
I do get called David Beckham quite a lot, but I take it as a very good compliment. The first person who I told when I got through the final 12 was my nana, because she was the person who started me into this whole career.
Fantastic, Liz Lewis. Very noisy, always tapping, singing. Used to tell me when he was little, I want to be on the West End, but I don't think he even knew where the West End was.
The fact that my nana will be there and sharing the whole experience with me is brilliant.
I think he's done so well.
I have her to thank for all of this, and I hope I make her proud.
Get ready, Nana Jean. He's up first. It's 17-year-old student Lewis Bradley. He's from Middlesbrough and will be singing Faith. But will you have faith in him as Joseph? Closely following him is 18-year-old Ben Ellis. Ben's from Scarborough and takes meeting his girlfriend Maud. It's the best thing that's ever happened to him. He's performing Johnny Be Good. Could Lewis or Ben be your Joseph? Here's Lewis.
Well, I guess it would be nice if I can touch your body. I know not everybody has got a body like you, but I gotta think twice before I give my heart away. And I know all the games you play, because you play them too. Oh, but I need some time up from that emotion. It's time to whip my heart up off the floor. Oh, and that love comes down without devotion. Well, it takes a strong night, baby, but I'm showing you the door. Cause I gotta have faith. I've gotta have faith. Cause I gotta have faith, faith, faith. I've gotta have faith, faith, faith. But baby, I know you're asking me to stay. I can't help but think yesterday. And then another tied me down to the lavatory. Before this river becomes an ocean. Before you throw my heart back on the floor. Oh, but I've reconsidered my foolish notion. But I need someone to hold me, but I'll wait for something more. Cause I gotta have faith. I've gotta have faith. Because I gotta have faith, faith, faith. I've gotta have faith, faith, faith. Wake back up in the world on the hammer. Let's little log cabin, make it burn the wood. Well, in this country boy named Johnny Good, who never ever learned to read or write so well, but he can play the guitar like a ringing a bell. Go, go, woo! Go, Johnny, go, go, go. 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 stop and say, oh my, we got a little country boy. Go, 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 Johnny, go, go, go. Go, Johnny, go, go, go. Go, Johnny, go, go, go. Woo! Go, Johnny, go, go, go. Johnny, go. Go, go. Go, Johnny, go, go, go. Woo! Go, Johnny, go, go, go. Go, Johnny, go, go, go. Johnny, go. Yeah!
Your Nana Jean, she's over there. Hi, Nana Jean. Oh! And now, who's your, Maud is here, yeah. And is that your dad? Dad. That's your dad. Stand up, Dad. I don't know. Listen, I know that Dad clearly likes you, and Maud, and Nana Jean, but let's find out what the panel think. I'll go to Denise first.
OK, first of all, Lewis. I love watching you as a performer, but I felt a little bit disappointed tonight, I have to say. I just think... I've seen you perform at Joseph School, and normally you give 100%. I don't know if it's because you're tired or you're nervous, but you have to treat every live show that we do here as an opening night. It's really important, so you're going to have to step it up a gear. It was good, but it wasn't brilliant.
You know, these boys have been singing constantly all week.
Zoe, it's a competition, and the viewers at home are judging them on this performance tonight, and I just think it could be better.
Worked so hard.
And I do think you're brilliant, and I love you, but it could be better.
OK, John, what do you think?
Well, you know, Lewis, I thought you did a good performance and a good vocal. I agree with Denise that you need to push it to the edge, push it to the limit. Take a note from your friend Ben. He went out there and pushed it to the edge. Not always the strongest, but tonight he really went to the limit. You know, you're the boy next door who could go the distance to being a leading man, so stick with it.
OK, mixed reviews of the panel. Andrew, what think you?
Well, I mean, fantastic that we got a live band, of course, because that really brings the ante up, doesn't it? Oh, fantastic. Right. Do you know, I mean, I think, you know, it shows, Lewis, you know, that you were a trained dancer. You are a trained dancer, aren't you? And if I remember rightly, you nearly got into the movie of Billy Elliot some time ago. Yeah. But I do agree that with Denise, and I do think you could give a bit more. I know you can. So it's important that you do. And wow, my goodness, my friend, that was a rock and roll performance. 8 years a classical singer, I saw in my notes.
Well, I've got to tell you, Andrew, I would go into a rehearsal room with that boy tomorrow. He will be with Lewis. He will be a sensational.
I agree with you, Bill, but we're just talking about what we saw tonight.
OK, remember the fate of Andrew's musical. Doesn't lie with these guys. It's in your hands. If you want Lewis to star as Joseph, call 09011 Nana Jean's got her phone out. Call 09011 212003. Or add 04 if you think Ben should be given the chance of a lifetime. Don't call this yet. Lines open at the end of the show. Our next two Josephs couldn't be more different if they tried. One makes a living singing in nightclubs, while the other works 9 to 5 as an office administrator. Yes, you're doing the hiring, so meet your next candidates. It's Craig Chalmers and John Deep Moore.
I feel like I really want to turn myself from cabaret singer to West End leading man.
On Saturday night, I want to show my family who the real me is.
I have been working in the pubs and clubs for a long time. Some nights can be great and you go home and you're buzzing. Other nights you turn up and it's like the dingiest little pub you've ever seen, and you know, 20 people there, and then your changing room's like the smelliest little toilet you can ever imagine. Then you get your typical shout for one of the old guys in the crowd. You know, son, you got any shawadi-wadi there that you can put on? They just don't really care about what you're singing about. I would just love for people to turn up to see me singing rather than people just being there for the cheap beer. I want to be a West End leading man.
You could be Joseph.
Oh, thank you. This Saturday, it's no normal gig for me. It's a little bit bigger deal than that.
I'm from an Asian background, from Birmingham. I have a family who are very traditional in their ways. My parents expect me to go into a career like being a lawyer, being a doctor. I know that my heart doesn't lie in that. I want to perform for the rest of my life because that is my passion. On Saturday night, it's the first time that my parents are going to see me perform. And I don't know, I'm just scared, I think. And I really hope that I make them proud. Because I really love what I do. And I hope that they do too.
You could be Joseph.
And I just really want their support.
They've both got a lot to prove. First up, it's 25-year-old Craig Chalmers. He's from Edinburgh and will be performing Dry a Little Tenderness. And to make his family proud, it's Birmingham's John Deep Moore. He's singing If There's Any Justice. Could Craig or John Deep be your Joseph? Here's Craig!
and young girls do get weary wearing that same old shaggy dress. But while she gets weary, try a little tenderness. Oh, you won't regret it. Young girls, they never forget it. Love is their only happiness. But it is all so easy. All you gotta do is try a little tenderness. Squeeze her, tease her, never leave her. You got to try a little tenderness. Squeeze her, tease her, never leave her. You got to try a little tenderness. If there's any justice in the world, I would be your man, and you would be my girl. Oh yes, if I'd found you first, you know it's true. He would be alone, and I would be with you. When you decide, don't let me down, 'cause there's nothing to be certain in my life. And I've seen 1,000 times, there's not much justice in the world. Just because he's wrapped around your finger, going through yourself with dreams of might be. If it's time he'll stop and trust your feelings, the truth is out there somewhere, it's blowing in the wind. Yeah, yeah. When you decide, don't let me down, 'cause there's nothing to be certain in my life. And I've seen 1,000 times, there's not too much justice in the world.
John Deep and Craig! Good job, guys. Well done. Now, this seems incredible to me. Your family have never heard you perform.
Never.
They didn't know you'd enter the competition until you were in the final 12.
Yeah, that's true.
So your mom is here tonight.
I know all my family.
What an amazing experience. You must be very proud. Oh, brilliant.
I think it made me cry.
No more
No
crying.
tears.
We don't want any more weeping in this show. I'm done. Craig, I did enjoy that. But do you have anything about Show Waddy Waddy? No.
No, it was my second choice, but I'd just
And listen, you've been suffering really badly with nerves all day.
Yeah, I've just killed myself with worrying about this competition, but...
But you're good now?
Yeah, I'm alright.
All right. Well, let's see if the panel go... I'll go to John. Do Craig and John Deep both deserve to be here next week?
I think they deserve to be here, but tonight I was rather disappointed with both of them. First, Craig, you know, your nerves, I think, got in the way. I really want to say we did a great job, but for me, it was just nice. And leading men need to be more than nice. They need to be great. John Deep, it was a good performance. You've got a great look, a great voice. Tonight, I just felt it was bland.
Okay, Denise.
No, listen, I'm going to disagree with John. Craig, I think that was a good performance. Really good. I know you've been feeling slightly unwell.
We can't all have the Martine McCutcheons and miss performances, and you can't be sick all the time.
Controversial. Denise, you were saying?
I do think it was a good performance. I totally disagree with you when it comes to John Deep. I think that was a fantastic performance. You sing with passion from the heart. You make
He looked like he was in pain when he was singing.
He doesn't look like he's in pain. He has a twinkle in his eye,
Zoe,
and the ladies love him.
Zoe, you know what the boys are going for. Did they deliver?
I do. Craig, we're going from cabaret singer to West End star. You have huge potential, but I think we need to do a little bit more work with you. John Deep, I disagree with John as well. Quite frankly, he needs to get back in his TARDIS. And can I just say, John Deep, you know what, as we say in Birmingham tonight, you were busting and you did it for us brummies, love.
All right. Let's check in with Andrew. Craig and John Deep again. So different.
Yeah, I know. Well, Craig, for many people, would be an obvious Joseph, and John Deep, for a lot of people, might not be. John Deep, you heard a fantastic, you've got a fabulous voice, and I really don't believe you kept it under wraps like that, but we have to believe you. It was a superb performance tonight. You're almost like a kind of... I don't know, you slightly remind me of the late, great Gene Pitney. I don't know why. But it was really, really great tonight. Now, Craig, I just think, you know, you have got to come up a notch. I think it's within you. I really do. But for me, I'm slightly more with John, I'm afraid, than I was with, you know, the others. But you can come up a notch, so let's hope you do.
All right, well, remember, one Joseph must be knocked out of the competition tonight. If you don't want it to be Craig, call 09011212005 or add 06 if you want John Deep to have a guaranteed place in next week's show. Lines will be opening later. Don't vote just yet. 6 Josephs down, and there are 6 more fantastic performances still to come. Now, winning How Do You Solve a Problem Like Maria last year turned Welsh telesales girl Connie Fisher into a massive star. She is over at the theatre right now in the West End with a special message for our Josephs. Look, there is your Maria. There she is.
Hi, everyone. I'm really sorry that I can't be with you tonight at your first live show. The curtain's literally just come down here, and I wanted to wish all of you guys the best of luck for your Joseph experience. It's hard to believe that less than a year ago I was standing where you are now. I promise you I was probably more nervous than you're feeling now, and I hope the Joseph experience is as wonderful as the Maria experience was for me. I know what you're going through. Give it your all. It's the most rewarding job in the world to be stood on the West End stage, so break both legs.
I think she was wishing you well. I'm not sure. It's not just Connie, of course, that's cheering you on. Lots of last year's Marias are here too. There they are, ladies. Hello, hello. Good to see you. Now, as we've already seen, our Josephs come in different shapes, sizes, and ages. Meet our next two, Seamus Cullen and Antony Hansen.
Do I feel that at 35 it's the last chance? No.
I might be the youngest, but I want this part more than any of the other guys.
I have a talent. I've got a God-given gift. I've been doing music seriously for about 20 years or so, in gospel choirs and bands and everything. One thing that I really want is to be leading man in the West End. I'm training to be a singing teacher, so I pick up on everything. It's not meant to be like... And, you know, I will say something. You spoke to yourself way before you were at the end of the phrase.
I hope that he doesn't think he's better than the rest of the boys, because he is the oldest. You all have to take the notes we give you, 35 or not.
It's not about singing, but it is about keeping the vocal folds together and allowing...
Yeah, it's fine making a suggestion, but right out telling people what to do is not fair. It's not fair, it's patronising. As far as being the youngest, I don't see myself as a disadvantage to the others.
Big step for Antony. He's never lived away from home before. It'll be interesting to see how he gets on without his mum being around to do his washing and cooking.
Before I got to the final 12, I was just a regular schoolboy. I've sort of put all of my A-levels on hold at the minute.
Never in my whole career.
A couple of months ago, I was sat in the classroom. Now I'm here preparing for the most important night of my life. I am quite nervous. But I just want to get out there and show them what I've got.
Well, I hope the singing is better than their cooking. Let's meet our next potential Joseph, Seamus Cullen. At 35, he's our oldest Joseph, and singing, I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Following him is 17-year-old Antony Hansen. Our youngest Joseph, who's a bit of a romantic, he's dedicating his song, I Don't Want to Miss a Thing, to his girlfriend Natalie. It's their special tune. Could Seamus or Antony be your Joseph? Give it up for Seamus.
These city walls, these while you're far away dreaming, I could spend my life in this sweet surrender. I could stay lost in this moment forever, 'cause every moment spent with you is a moment I treasure. I don't wanna close my eyes, I don't wanna fall asleep, 'cause I miss you, babe, and I don't wanna miss a thing. I don't wanna miss one smile. Feel your heart so close to mine, and to stay here in this moment until the end of time. Yeah. I don't wanna close my eyes, I don't wanna fall asleep, 'cause I miss you, babe, and I don't wanna miss a thing. Even when I dream of you, the sweetest dream will never do. I just miss you, babe, and I don't wanna miss a thing.
Seamus! Well done. You did it. Well done. Okay. So here you stand. There's an 18-year difference between your ages.
Old enough to be his father.
Yeah, you really are. Oldest, youngest. Who do you think has the advantage or the disadvantage?
Well, I'm young, fresh-faced, and wrinkle-free, so...
Yeah, well, we did think how funny it would be. Like, if he wins Joseph, and then I have to go for another audition, I am never going to get the role of his father, Jacob.
No, you really won't. You'll be very wrong.
Joseph is the right place for me.
All right, let's see what the panel think. John, do you see potential Joseph here?
Finally, I do, because with both of you, I had reservations about both of the vocals, both of the performances, but tonight, Seamus, you blew me away. I cannot fault your vocal, okay? Cannot fault your vocal. The one thing I will say, you need to be more of a team player, because I've seen from Joseph School, you separate yourself as a leading man, you need to lead the company and be part of the company a little more. Antony, wow, blew me away. I know millions of boys and girls out in the television land who would love to have been that microphone. I don't know what he was doing to it, but I definitely agree.
You're a leading lady. You're a leading lady. Could you imagine playing opposite either of these guys?
Right, I was watching Seamus and I thought I would love to be on the West End stage with you. You are so exciting to watch, full of energy, a brilliant performance. I totally agree with John. Antony, I don't know why, but I just love you. I thought it was great. I'm going to let Zoe actually comment on your vocal, because at the end I think there was a slight fault, but the rest of it was brilliant.
Both of you did a really, really great job, and I love Antony too. They're really nice guys to work with, so much nicer than Maria's.
Bill, they're right there! Oh, Bill, a brief word from you of those two who stood out.
I champion Seamus from the word go. I think it's terrific that a 35-year-old can come on this show. I also watched this boy in Any Dream We'll Do at the start, and you took my eye totally, just as you did then.
All right, Andrew, do you have any concerns about these two guys?
Well, I don't, but I tell you what I do have a concern about is that, you see, I think I'm right that this is going to be a very close-run competition. So I think when everybody's looking at these kids at home, you've got to really be careful this time about who we choose, because, do you know, it's not going to be a close, it's going to be a very close-run race. It's not going to be an easy one, this. I think both of you were terrific tonight. I had a worry about you getting that top note. You got it absolutely fantastically. Yeah. I was about to say, you know, I once did a musical with Michael Ball called Aspects of Love, and we had a song called Love Changes Everything, where he had to get to a top B flat. And in the end, we slightly altered it, because I said the musical's not about a top B flat, it's about the whole performance. Well, you did both tonight. It was absolutely fantastic. Got the note and everything. And Seamus, I was a little bit worried, because you're a vocal coach as well, aren't you? I thought Zoe might have a comment or two. But no, it was terrific. Well done, boys.
All right, thank you, Andrew. Well done, guys. Remember, the two least popular Josephs will go head-to-head in the dreaded sing-off in front of Andrew later. One of them will be going home. Don't let it happen to your favourite. If you think Seamus is your Joseph, call 09011 212007 or add 08 if you think Antony should wear the dream coat. Fingers, boys, till the lines open at the end of the show. Our next Josephs tonight are a shop assistant and a frustrated actor. It's Chris Crosby and Daniel Boyes.
You know, is it fate? Was I meant to be here? I know I'm the quiet guy, but there's just something inside me which is absolutely bursting to get out. I've wanted to be an actor all my life, but I'm entering data for a cement firm. It's just soul-destroying.
It's a very important piece of work, though I have to say it's probably quite mind-numbing.
Most of my colleagues just think of me as this quiet, reserved guy. Hi, Barbara.
Hi, Daniel.
I don't think they really know who I am.
When Daniel's working in the container, he just pops in to get the key and pops out again. Almost no one knows he's there.
I think when my colleagues see me on Saturday night, they're just going to be so shocked. I'm maybe the Clark Kent during the day, but, you know, at night I want to perform, I become Superman.
Well, I left theatre school and I kind of lost, not interest, but just faith in what I was doing. I was at a pretty low point in my life, and a friend of mine, him and his family, invited me to go to this church. And I was quite pessimistic about the whole thing. At the end of a service, a lady next to me, who I'd never met in my life, just turned to me, and, you know, tears in her eyes, and said to me, "Follow Joseph." And I really, truly believe it was a sign. I'm here now in the final 12. It just makes you think that has to be more than just, oh, a bit of a coincidence, you know what I mean?
First up, it is 18-year-old Chris Crosby. Now, Chris is a top assistant from Nottingham. He'll be singing This Love. Following him is 28-year-old Daniel Boys. This ambitious Londoner will be performing You Give Me Something. Could Chris or Daniel be your Joseph? Here's Chris.
I was so high to not recognize the fire burning in her eyes, the chaos that controlled my mind. Whispered goodbye as she got on a plane, but never to return again, but always in my heart. Oh, this love has taken its soul on me. She said goodbye too many times before, and her heart is breaking in front of me, and I have no choice, 'cause I won't say goodbye anymore. Try my best to feed her appetite, keep her coming every night, so hard to keep her satisfied, yeah. Kept playing love like it was just a game, pretending to be the same, then turn around and leave again. Oh, this love has taken its soul on me. She said goodbye too many times before, and her heart is breaking in front of me, and I have no choice, 'cause I won't say goodbye anymore, yeah, oh, oh. You only stay with me in the morning, you only hold me when I sleep. I was meant to tread the water, now I've gotten in too deep. For every piece of me that wants you, another piece backs away. 'Cause you give me something that makes me stay alright. This could be nothing, but I'm willing to give it a try. Please give me something, someday I might call you from my heart, but it might be a second too late. And the words that I can never say gonna come out anyway. You give me something, this could be nothing, but I'm willing to give it a try. Please give me something, someday I might know my heart.
Daniel and Chris. Well done. Well done. Okay. Now, apparently, age 13, you were packed off to theatre school. Is that right?
Wasn't packed off. I wanted to go, but yeah, it was 13.
Between us, we just think, Mother, was she a bit pushy? A little bit pushy?
A little bit.
And now, Daniel, obviously, you know, you've got a difficult decision, because if you do win this competition and, you know, get a starring role in the West End, do you feel you'll be able to give up the entering data at the cement firm?
Let me think. Yeah.
You'd make that sacrifice.
Absolutely.
Very brave. OK, Denise, convincing Josephs?
OK, let me first of all start with Daniel. You made my heart beat a little faster tonight. I loved your performance. I think vocally you're very, very strong and just a great performer. I think you'll go a long way in this competition. Chris, I like you a lot. I think you're great. You're very different, and you're a pop performer, which I love to see. And of course, we're looking for something different for the West End for Joseph this year. My only concern is that you do look a little bit young. And yes, I've imagined you in a loincloth. And I'm slightly concerned that maybe you'll look like baby Joseph in a nappy.
Ooh.
So I think
Bill, do you think...
Listen, I mean, I just think I want to see something a bit more manly from you, and I think you just get on the protein shakes.
Okay. All right. Bill, do you think either of them has got a right commercial look?
I think Daniel has by far and away the best voice in the competition. I thought that was a great vocal performance, Daniel. You're a professional. You know you'll be asking yourself, have I got the right look for Joseph? The good news is the public will let you know whether you're happy. The great news is you were fantastic tonight. And Chris, I think you've got exactly what Andrew's looking for. But I long for you to loosen up and focus a bit more. I long for you to smile. You've got a great smile. I've seen you for a few weeks now. You look a little bit in pain to me. You've got a great smile. You're using it now. Enjoy it.
All right,
big moment.
Zoe, do you agree with Bill about the vocals?
I do. Daniel, you really have a beautiful voice. It was truly mesmerising tonight. Chris, that's a really, really hard song to sing. We've been over this in vocal class with me. I think you did a great job of it, but it's like the opposite to one of the other Josephs. It's now turning the Justin Timberlake poppy Joseph into a West End musical theatre. So both of them did a great job.
All right, Andrew, are either of these Joseph?
Very interesting, because I feel... Daniel, you really have got a fantastic voice, but I was trying to connect with the material when you were singing earlier. I wasn't feeling that you were really drawing me into the story, which bothered me a little bit. But I do think you've got all the notes there, so you absolutely can do it. Look, Chris, I mean, the Justin Timberlake point, well made, and I do think that there's a question about whether or not you just might be a little bit too skinny for Joseph at the moment. Have to take it for somebody like me. But I think you could really come through, and again, it's connecting with the material. I keep saying to you boys, connect, think of words. That's the most important thing. But gosh, this is a very high standard, you know, we've got tonight.
It's great, isn't it? And remember, it is your votes that ultimately count, so make sure you choose carefully. If you think Chris Crosby is destined to be Joseph, call 09011 212009 or add 10 if you think Daniel should lead the West End cast. Please don't vote just yet. The line's open at the end of the show. Well, time now for our final two Josephs of the night, a student and a supermarket worker. They may seem like ordinary Joes, but they're armed with extraordinary talent. Chris Barton and Keith Jack.
I just really want to give up the shelf stacking and be on the West End stage.
I come from a family of performers, and now this is my chance to shine. My mum and granddad and my nana were all champion ballroom dancers, but as for the singing, I'm not sure where I get that because they're tone deaf.
He's made for the theatre. This is his life. It isn't just his dream. This is what he's lived for.
When I was 4, I set up a theatre in the living room, and he used to sit there with the torch as a spotlight. And ever since that day, he's always wanted me to do well.
And I'm so proud of him that he's made an old heart very young again.
Sadly, my granddad won't be able to be in the studio, but I know that he'll be tuning in and watching at home. I just can't wait to impress him, and you better vote. Grandad, you better vote for me.
I just can't believe that with a boy with a dream starting pushing trolleys in a supermarket, that now I'm going to be in Andrew's top 12 on Saturday night primetime TV. It's just a fantastic feeling.
This is a customer announcement. Please watch Any Dream Will Do. Keith Jack will be performing. Please remember to vote.
He's a good footballer, but obviously he's a better singer.
All the old ladies love him. Really proud of him. I just can't keep telling them how much I'm proud of him.
My family and people in Scotland are going to be, I know him, he works in the supermarket. And I'll be like, well, no, I work here now.
You decide. Up first is 20-year-old Chris Barton. He's from Ormskirk in Lancashire, but tonight he'll be walking in Memphis. Following Chris is proud Scot Keith Jack, 19-year-old and from Dalkeith. He's singing Crazy Little Thing Called Love. Would Chris Barton or Keith be your Joseph? Here's Chris.
Put on my blue suede shoes and I boarded the plane. Touchdown in the land of the Delta Blues in the middle of a pouring rain. W.C. Handy, won't you look down over me? Yeah, I got a first class ticket, but I'm as blue as a boy can be. Then I'm walking in Memphis, walking in my feet and feet off the beat. Walking in Memphis, do I really feel the way I feel? They've got catfish on the table. our guts full in the air, and Reverend Creed, be glad to see you. When you haven't got a prayer, walking in Memphis, walking in my feet and feet off the field, walking in Memphis. Do I really feel the way I feel? Do I really feel the way I feel? Do I really feel the way I This thing called love, I can't handle it. This thing called love, I must get around to it. I ain't ready. This thing called love, it cries in the morning swing, and it dies. Takes hold like a jellyfish, sound like tears. With a thing called love, there goes my baby. She knows how to rock and roll. She drives me crazy. She gives me hot cold fever. She makes me in a cool way. I gotta be cool. Come on, relax. I get hip. I get on my tracks until I'm ready. Crazy thing called love. There goes my baby. She knows how to rock and roll. She drives me crazy. She gives me hot cold fever. She leaves me in a cool. I gotta be cool, relax. I get hip. I get on my tracks in the backseat and hitchhike. I take a long ride on my motorbike. Ready. Crazy thing called love. Crazy thing called love.
Keith and Chris! Oh, you... Great job, but you poor things. Both of us sat there, waiting till the end of the show. What did that feel like, sitting there for the last hour watching everyone else perform?
Well, hopefully they saved the best to last.
I've never been as scared as since the time I saw Keith getting changed backstage.
All right, well, let's go over to the panel and see if it was best till last. John?
I think they did save the best to last, Graham. You know what, Chris? I love watching you. You've got a great voice. I think you have definite star quality. Keep going. Go, 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 Joseph. Keith, as they say in Scotland, go on yourself, wee man. That was pure dead brilliant. Pure dead brilliant. Scotland would be proud. Only one thing, one negative. You need to work on your movement. A little stiff.
Oh, Denise?
I'm going to say, I think he's a fantastic dancer. You need to wait and see that.
Who?
We're talking about Keith, sorry.
Oh, right. So, what did you think of them both?
I think they're both fantastic. But that's what I wanted to say about Chris Barton. I think you're a brilliant all-round performer. I just hope that, I'm sure you'll be here next week. I want people to see you dance because he is a fantastic dancer. Keith, I think you are a theatrical ball of fire.
Yeah. Wow. Zoe, vocally, how did they do?
Chris, it was a controlled, open vocal. I hope you're proud. You did a really good job. Keith, you're a little guy with an absolutely huge voice, and you know what? You're my little singing sizzler.
You talked about this pop quality.
Yeah.
Do either of these guys have that?
Yes, they do. All this sizzling. Oh, good Lord. I mean, there you go. I mean, what about those girls as well? Where did they get those from? What should we call them? I think we should give them a name. What about the Josephines?
The Josephines?
We like the Josephines? Maybe we do. Listen, guys, both of you are terrific. You know, and of course, I've had the chance of seeing you working as well. I mean, goodness. I mean, Keith, you are a little star. You know, we all know that. Terrific. Got a wonderful open face. And it's absolutely great. And Chris, you know, I mean, really terrific. I have only one little thing I would just advise you a little bit about. Might not be obvious in here, but would be on television. When you get to those top notes, try and open your eyes, because you've got great eyes, and you do that, you know? And I think it's an important thing. Don't screw your face up. Yeah.
Here's a point, Andrew. The character of Joseph goes from a young boy to the Prince of Egypt, and at the end he has to display a huge, huge maturity.
Quite right.
Over the next few weeks, those boys are going to be around, and we've got to look to see the journey they take.
All right.
Boy to star.
Well, who will make that journey? You have the power. If you thought Joseph's coat had a variety of shades of green, wait till you see Andrew's face if you make the wrong choice. Do you want to give Chris Barton his big break in the West End? Call 09011 2120 11 or add 12 if you think Keith deserves to be Joseph. Andrew and the panel have had their say. Now it is up to you. The lines are now open. Calls cost 25 pence from a BT landline. Other operators and mobiles may vary. At least 12p split equally between children in need and the musical theatre bursary for aspiring performers. Here's a reminder of all of tonight's performances and the numbers you need to dial.
Well, it takes a strong night, baby, but I'm sure when you will know, 'cause I gotta have faith. I've gotta have faith. 'Cause I gotta have faith, faith, faith. I've gotta have faith, faith, faith. Go, Johnny, go, go, go. Come on, Johnny, go, go, go. Johnny, go. Squeeze her, tease her, never leave her. You got to. When you decide, don't let me down, 'cause there's nothing to be certain in my life. And I've seen 1,000 times, there's not much justice in the world. You are, but I'm still running. But I still am found what I'm looking for.
Fantastic performances to choose from. Remember, you're calling the shots and every vote counts, so choose wisely. We're back at 9:45 with our results show. That's in 10 minutes, when we'll be revealing who's first to be knocked out of the competition. Plus, find out what the Josephs really think of each other.
He's got his great youth, but he hasn't got the maturity that I think Joseph needs.
Vocally, he's probably one of the weakest, I'd say.
Yeah, and after that, they're going to be doing a group performance. I look forward. And Joseph legend Jason Donovan will be joining us as well. We'll see you at 9:45. Keep voting.
I close my eyes. Next.
Performed live for your votes. Soon we'll be revealing who's going to be the silver birch of the competition and gallop home the winner, and who, like the royal girlfriend Kate Middleton, is going to get the elbow. Yes, legendary Joseph Jason Donovan will be joining us. There he is. Plus, our West End hopefuls spill the beans about who they think is and isn't Joseph, and they're not holding back. You thought the Marias were bad. Okay, let's welcome back the panel. John Barrowman, Denise Van Houten, Bill Kenwright, Zoe Tyler, and the good Lord himself, Andrew Lloyd Webber. Oh, it's all jolly now. But the two Josephs with the least amount of votes will have to perform again in the dreaded sing-off later. Andrew could only save one of them. The lines are still open, so there's time to keep your favourite Joseph out of danger. Here's a reminder of all 12 performances with the numbers you need to call.
Rob, wow, 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 what a way to start a show!
Those were the best days of my life. Light forms on the right face. Now the magic.
That was not an understudy performance. That was a leading man performance.
You know Maggie's back. Foolish notion, but I need someone to hold me. But I'll wait for something more, 'cause I gotta have faith.
Lewis, I love watching you as a performer, but I felt a little bit disappointed tonight, I have to say. I just...
Go, Johnny, go, go, go. Woo! Go, Johnny, go, go, go.
The boy next door who could go the distance to being a leading man, so stick with it.
Go, Johnny, go, go, go. Woo! Go, Johnny, go, go, go. Squeeze her, tease her, never leave her. You got to, you got to, you got to.
Craig, we're going from cabaret singer to West End star. You have huge potential.
You can come up a notch, so let's hope you do.
When you decide, don't let me down.
I just felt it was bland.
Okay.
Frankie needs to get back in his TARDIS.
1,000 times, there's not too much justice in the world. Still haven't found what I'm looking for.
It's terrific that a 35-year-old can come on this show.
I would love to be on the West End stage with you. You are so exciting to watch.
That's fantastic. Got the note and everything.
She said goodbye too many times before.
Yes, I've imagined you in a loincloth. And I'm slightly concerned that maybe you'll look like baby Joseph in a nappy.
Don't say goodbye anymore.
I think Daniel has by far and away the best voice in the competition.
Oh, my heart, walking in Memphis, walking in my feet,
If you have definite star quality, keep going. Go, 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 Joseph.
do I really feel the way I feel? Do I take the back seat and hit time? To take a long ride on my motorbike?
You know what? You're my little singing sizzler.
Come
Calls cost 25 pence on a BT landline. Other operators and mobiles may vary. At least 12 fees to be equally between children in need and the musical theatre bursary for aspiring performers. Check the website for details. Joining me now is the most famous Joseph ever. Jason Donovan is here. And, of course, Andrew Lloyd Webber as well. Now, Jason, you had enormous success playing Joseph back in '91. Now, what did it feel like performing in the West End dressed like this?
I just finished a tour, actually, and I came off performing at Wembley Arena in my normal clothes and looked at myself in a loincloth, a pair of white fluffy socks, and a technicoloured coat, and think, you know, where am I heading with this? But it was an amazing, theatrical experience for me. It sort of turned my career around. And,
why did you choose Jason?
Because I thought he was a star. Really was fantastic. I went to see you. I think he was in Bournemouth.
Yeah, Brighton.
Brighton. Yeah, well, I must get that right. But you were terrific that night,
Mm-hmm.
and I just thought, well, why not ask? You know, because you were an actor, and of course, not just a pop star. And so I think we kind of made a bit of history. Really.
We did make history, and I think that's the essence of the show. It is an all-round performance. It's about, as Andrew said, connecting with the material. It's about what Bill said specifically about going from innocence to strength.
And
that's I think it's a really poignant thing. It's simplicity.
But Andrew has stressed this idea of the pop voice. And you mentioned Justin Timberlake. I mean, have you approached Justin Timberlake or the likes of him to do it again?
Can't get his phone number. Can you get it?
Can't afford him. Really.
I don't can imagine.
But I also said Jude Law, and I said that advisedly, because I mean, I think we've got to have someone who really can act as well.
Correct.
It's important that we do. And Bill Kenwright made a really, really good point about that. And when we go further down in the line in the series, we're going to be looking, I think, more for the acting performance as well as the singing.
Okay, well, we look forward to all of that. We're about to have a group performance. Lines will be closing after this performance, so it is your last chance to keep your favourite Joseph out of the sing-off. Performing Luck Be a Lady from the legendary West End musical Guys and Dolls, please welcome our Josephs!
But there is room for doubt. At times you have a very unladylike way of running out. You're on the stage with me. The pickings have been lush. And yet before this evening is over, you might give me the brush. You might forget your manners. You might refuse to stay. So the best that I can do is pray. Luck be a lady tonight. Luck be a lady tonight. Luck if you've ever been a lady to begin with. Luck be a lady tonight. Doesn't leave your escort. It isn't fair. It isn't nice. A lady doesn't wander all over the room and blow up some other guy's tie. Let's keep the party polite. Never get out of my sight. Stick with me, baby, I'm the fella you came in with. Luck be a lady tonight. Luck be a lady tonight. Luck be a lady tonight. Luck if you've ever been a lady to begin with. Luck be a lady tonight. A lady wouldn't make little snake eyes at me when I bet my life on this road. So let's keep the party polite. Never get out of my sight. Stick with me, baby, I'm the fella you came in with. Luck be a lady. Luck be a lady. Luck be a lady.
Luck has run out for someone because I can tell you the lines are now closed. Please don't call, as you will be charged and your vote will not be counted. In just a moment, we'll be announcing which of our Josephs have fallen into the bottom two and are in the sing-off. And whilst we count your votes, we asked our final 12 the question, who's not Joseph? The results were fascinating.
If there's one guy who I don't think is Joseph, it might be Ben. Seamus, just because of his attitude.
It's got to be Seamus.
If there's one person I'd like to see go tonight, it'd be Lee Mead, because he's my biggest competition.
I don't care about being nice at all, but I genuinely don't know who's going home tonight.
You can see a lot of tension between all of us.
I don't think Keith's really up to much with the luck of Joseph.
I think if there's one person that isn't Joseph, it would be Keith.
If people say my name tonight, then they say my name.
He's got this great youth, but he hasn't got the maturity that I think Joseph needs.
Possibly Ben.
Probably Chris C. He's the best pop singer easily, but I don't know if he'd be. I mean, being on a West End stage and holding an audience is a lot different to being a pop singer.
I think Chris C isn't Joseph. He just doesn't seem to me. He doesn't have the nature that Joseph does.
I think Ben's number this week didn't show him off as best it could.
He's got a lot of dance moves involved that takes away from his singing, and I think that could affect him tonight.
The person that maybe looks the weakest in his performance is probably Craig. Vocally, he's probably one of the weakest, I'd say.
Andrew's looking for a younger guy, and at the end of the day, Seamus is 35.
He's obviously the oldest guy here, and I think that the views out there will be quite a young audience, personally. I think they will be the voting public.
I may be one of the weaker dancers, but aside from that, I can't think of a good reason why I should go.
Well, we did ask. There's no doubt there who they think should not be Joseph. I'd like to be on the bus going back to Joseph House. But let's find out what the experts think. Panel, based on tonight's performances, who do you think should be going home? Zoe.
For tonight, Antony.
Bill.
I'm going to say someone who I'm sure will be here next week. Chris C.
Denise.
Based on tonight's performance, Craig.
John.
Craig.
Okay. There are only 10 guaranteed places in next week's show. The two Josephs with the lowest number of votes tonight must perform in a sudden death sing-off in front of Andrew. He can only save one of them. For one Joseph, their dream is about to come to an end. All your votes have been counted and verified. I will now announce the results in no particular order. Keith. You could still be Joseph. Congratulations, you're through to next week's show. Rob and Daniel. You're also through. Well done. Seamus and John D. Congratulations, either of you can still be Joseph. Chris Barton. Antony. You're through to next week's show. Go and join the others. Okay, please come down. Lewis, Chris Crosby, Craig, Lee, and Ben. Thanks to the viewers' votes, 3 of you have a guaranteed place in next week's live show. But 2 of you are in a very dangerous situation because you are in tonight's sing-off. Lewis. Congratulations, you're safe. Chris Crosby. You're in the bottom 2. You will be in the sing-off. Please wait where you are. Lee. Well done, you're through. Off you go. So, Craig and Ben. There's just one guaranteed place left in next week's show. Craig. You could still be Joseph. Join the others. Which means that, Ben, I'm afraid you are joining Chris in the sing-off. I'm sorry. Okay, Chris Crosby and Ben, you two are the least popular Josephs. One of you received the lowest amount of votes tonight, and if it were down to viewers' votes alone, I can reveal the person that would be out of the competition is Chris Crosby. But, Chris, there's still hope for you, as Andrew may decide to save you. You both must now perform Simon and Garfunkel's Bridge Over Troubled Water. It's the song the 12 of you have been rehearsing all week, and none of you wanted to sing. Andrew, why did you choose this song?
Well, it really is a very difficult song to sing in many ways, but it's also a fantastic storytelling song. You know, I always keep talking about story, and that's what I want to hear tonight. I want to hear those fantastic lyrics.
Okay, boys. Andrew will be watching you very, very closely. Ben, you will begin the sing-off, and then Chris. Here, singing the classic Bridge Over Troubled Water to impress Andrew Lloyd Webber and win his casting vote. It's Ben and Chris Crosby.
feeling small. When tears are in your eyes, I will dry them all. I'm on your side. Oh, when times get rough and friends just can't be found, like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down. When you're down and out, when you're on the street, and when the evening falls so hard, I will comfort you. I'll take your part. Oh, when darkness comes and pain is all around, like a bridge over troubled water, I will ease your mind. Like a bridge over troubled water, I will ease your mind.
Okay, guys. Over we go. Well done to both of you. A horrible situation to be in. You've handled it really well. Okay, Ben, Chris, you have now sung, but was it enough to convince Andrew? Andrew, you must now decide. Ben or Chris, who will you save?
Horrible situation, this. The standard's so high this year. But I'm going to save Ben.
Congratulations, Ben. Well done, guys. You go join the others. Congratulations, Sylvie Joseph. I'm so sorry, Chris. Why, Andrew, are you sending Chris home?
Well, Chris, you know, you had a slight desperation. I understand the feeling, you know, at this stage in the show in the evening. But, you know, at the end of the day, Ben had the song within his vocal range, and I thought you were straining, I'm afraid. But I think you'll go far, and I hope we'll see you again.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. We've got one more thing to do for us. We'd like to sing with the other Josephs. There you go, everybody. Chris. There you have it. Chris Crosby is not Joseph, and 12 have become 11. That's all for tonight. Join me next Saturday at 7:25 here on BBC One, when our Josephs will be fighting it out again. Until then, I leave you with Chris Crosby and our Josephs to say goodnight in their own special way. I'll see you next week.
Oh, Joseph, what you gonna do? Things look bad for you. Hey, what you gonna do? Close every door to me. Hide all the world from me. Bar all the windows and shut out the light. If my life were important, I would ask, will I live or die? But I know the answers lie far from this world.